Get ready, PumpTalk Nation. The news cycle is absolutely exploding, and we've got the inside scoop on everything you need to know. We're diving deep, breaking down the buzz, and bringing you the unfiltered truth. Stick around because the stories are hot, the takes are fresh, and the information is vital. You don't want to be left out of this conversation. First up, we're talking about some viral comments that are reportedly shaking up a major TV production. What was said? Who said it? And how is it impacting one of the biggest singing competitions on television right now? We've got the details that have the network brass reportedly furious and could change the future of a beloved coach. You won't believe the alleged fallout. Then, we're jumping into the gaming universe where a beloved franchise's voice cast is dreaming big. Imagine your favorite characters from different installments all teaming up, think Avengers, but for gamers. The cast is ready, the ideas are flowing, and they're calling for a massive crossover event that could redefine episodic gaming. Could this be the next big thing? And finally, we're covering a powerful message from a global leader addressing a tragic event that has sent shockwaves across the nation. A devastating school shooting has prompted a strong denouncement of violence and a plea for peace that resonates worldwide. We're breaking down the impactful words and the broader implications. Make sure you're subscribed and the notification bell is on so you never miss a beat. Let's go. It's a divisive environment, and that's the exact kind of conversation the execs at NBC didn't want to be sucked into. Reports are surfacing about the alleged impact of Snoop Dogg's recent controversial comments regarding LGBTQ+ representation in the movie Lightyear on his role in the upcoming season of The Voice. While NBC has yet to issue an official statement, a source close to the production has reportedly shared that the network is furious with the rapper's remarks, which questioned why such themes need to be shown to children. These comments, made on the It's Giving podcast, have allegedly created an uncomfortable situation for the production team, who are striving to maintain an inclusive, apolitical, family-friendly environment for the singing competition. The insider further suggested that Snoop Dogg's statements could jeopardize his potential return for a third season as a coach, emphasizing that the show does not condone the comments whatsoever, and that such controversy is the opposite of the kind of spotlight they want on the show just ahead of the new season. The source also expressed concern that the situation might make contestants and crew members feel unsafe, given the diverse nature of the show's participants and staff. This alleged tension comes as Snoop Dogg is set to return as a coach for season 28, joining a lineup that includes Niall Horan, Reba McEntire, and Michael Bublé. His previous seasons saw him become quite emotional, often connecting with the contestants on a personal level, which might make navigating this controversy even more complex. Given that much of the season was filmed prior to his viral podcast appearance, it's unlikely that viewers will see any direct fallout on screen. However, the long-term implications for his future with the show remain uncertain, with the source hinting that any decision about his return will likely be kept private. Whether this controversy will indeed influence his standing within the Voice family remains to be seen, but it highlights the delicate balance networks must strike when managing public figures with potentially polarizing views. But will this controversy impact his future on the show? Next, we're diving into the world of gaming for a potential dream team-up. I always want to have a Life is Strange Avengers game. Let's get us all in there, get everybody powers, and let's make it a battle royale or something. The voice cast of Square Enix's acclaimed episodic adventure series, Life is Strange, has expressed a strong desire for a crossover event that would unite characters from across the franchise's multiple installments. Speaking at the Rewinding Time, a Decade of Life is Strange panel during PAX West 2025, Katie Bentz, who voiced Steph Gingrich in both Life is Strange, Before the Storm and Life is Strange, True Colors, enthusiastically proposed the idea of a Life is Strange Avengers game. She envisioned a scenario where all the beloved characters could unite, perhaps even with a battle royale format, to create a thrilling new experience. Emily O'Brien, the voice of Alex Chen in True Colors, while feeling protective of her character's narrative, also admitted that she would be interested in such a crossover if it were executed exceptionally well. She noted the intriguing complexity of combining the different superpowers featured throughout the series and how characters might interact or even clash. Even Han Solo, whose character Gabe Chen met an unfortunate end in True Colors, joked about his character's fate and expressed openness to the concept, suggesting that the voice actors themselves might have just outlined the plot for a future installment. This collective enthusiasm from the cast highlights a potential avenue for Square Enix to explore, capitalizing on the dedicated fanbase and the rich lore established across the various Life is Strange titles. The idea of a shared universe, akin to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where protagonists from different games could interact, presents a compelling narrative opportunity. It would allow for unique gameplay mechanics, diverse character dynamics, and a fresh perspective on the established world. Fans have long speculated about potential connections between the different games, and hearing the voice actors champion such a crossover only fuels that anticipation. The success of previous Life is Strange titles, known for their compelling storytelling and emotional depth, suggests that a well-crafted crossover could be a major hit. It would offer a chance to revisit favorite characters, explore new storylines, and potentially bring closure to unresolved plot threads. The challenge, as Emily O'Brien pointed out, lies in ensuring the narrative is coherent and the integration of powers is handled thoughtfully. However, with the talent and passion evident in the voice cast, the possibility of a Life is Strange Avengers game is an exciting prospect for the future of the series. Could this epic crossover become a reality? Next, we turn our attention to a powerful message from a global leader following a tragic event. Let us plead God to stop the pandemic of arms, large and small, which infects our world. Pope Leo XIV has publicly denounced the pandemic of arms following a devastating school shooting in Minnesota that resulted in the deaths of 2 young children and injuries to 20 others. During his Sunday noon blessing from St. Peter's Square in Rome, the U.S.-born pontiff offered prayers for the victims of the attack at the Church of Annunciation in Minneapolis. The shooting occurred during a mass marking the start of the school year, attended by hundreds of students from the nearby Annunciation Catholic School. The assailant fired 116 rifle rounds through a stained glass window before dying by suicide. In the immediate aftermath of the tragedy, Pope Leo XIV had initially sent a telegram of condolence focusing solely on spiritual comfort. However, his recent public address marked a stronger stance, condemning the logic of weapons that fuels conflicts worldwide. He specifically called for an immediate ceasefire in Ukraine and urged warring parties to pursue dialogue and peace, stating, "It's time that those responsible renounce the logic of weapons and take the path of negotiations and peace with the support of the international community." This call echoes sentiments previously expressed by his predecessor, Pope Francis, who famously criticized the arms industry as merchants of death during his 2015 address to the U.S. Congress. The incident in Minnesota has once again intensified the debate surrounding gun control in America, with proponents of stricter regulations advocating for legislative action beyond mere expressions of sympathy. The Pope's powerful words underscore a global concern over escalating violence and the proliferation of firearms, urging a collective commitment to peace and de-escalation. His message serves as a stark reminder of the devastating human cost of armed conflict and the urgent need for diplomatic solutions. His words resonate globally, highlighting a critical issue. But how does this statement compare to previous papal addresses on similar matters? Our prayers for the victims of the tragic shooting during a school mass in the American state of Minnesota. We hold in our prayers the countless children killed and injured every day around the world. Pope Leo XIV has issued a strong condemnation of the pandemic of arms, large and small, following a tragic school shooting that occurred during a Catholic mass in Minnesota. The incident, which took place at the Church of Annunciation in Minneapolis, resulted in the deaths of 2 children and left 20 individuals injured. The shooter, who later died by suicide, unleashed 116 rifle rounds through the church's stained glass windows during a service attended by hundreds of students from the adjacent Annunciation Catholic School. In his Sunday noon blessing, delivered from his studio overlooking St. Peter's Square, the U.S.-born Pope spoke in English, denouncing the attack and the pervasive logic of weapons that fuels global conflicts. He extended prayers to the victims and to children worldwide who suffer from gun violence, imploring divine intervention to halt the spread of arms. This statement follows an initial telegram of condolence sent by Pope Leo XIV, which focused exclusively on spiritual solace without addressing the political dimensions of gun violence in America. His more recent address, however, not only condemned the Minnesota shooting, but also called for an immediate ceasefire in Ukraine and a serious commitment to dialogue among warring nations. He emphasized the need to silence the voice of weapons and elevate the voice of fraternity and justice. This stance aligns with the legacy of his predecessor, Pope Francis, who was a vocal critic of the arms trade, referring to gun manufacturers as merchants of death, and questioning the morality of profiting from violence. The Minnesota shooting has, as expected, reignited the contentious debate over gun control in the United States, with advocates for stricter laws criticizing political inaction and the reliance on thoughts and prayers as insufficient responses to mass shootings. The Pope's powerful appeal for peace and disarmament addresses a critical global concern, urging a collective shift away from violence and towards diplomatic resolution and mutual understanding. His words carry significant weight on the global stage. Now, let's transition to the lighter side of news with a potential gaming crossover that has fans buzzing. And that's a wrap on another packed news day. We saw Snoop Dogg's comments potentially impact The Voice, The Life is Strange cast dreaming of an epic crossover, and Pope Leo XIV's powerful plea against the pandemic of arms after a tragic school shooting. Don't miss out on any of the action. Hit that like button if you found this update valuable, subscribe for more daily news, and smash that notification bell so you're always in the loop. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure to follow us on all social media platforms for behind-the-scenes content and more. We'll see you next time on PumpTalk News.